Hi, hello, and welcome back to Crick Static Season 3 powered by Wannabe, the world's first 360 degrees buyers only requirement listing portal. I'm the show host who brings you the most, Tasmay Krishnan. Once again, very much elated to welcome you all back to another episode after a long gap because I had a lot of extracurricular competitions and now I'm in the city of Red, Bangalore during my vacation. But this is something that I enjoy doing, and this is something in which, through a medium through which I can also educate others regarding the game that I love, the game that I live for, cricket. And I'm really looking forward to this review because the Chennai Super Kings won and ousted the Sunrisers Hyderabad in not a high octane thriller. It wasn't a close encounter at all. It was absolute decimation from the Chennai Super Kings. Sunrisers Hyderabad, who looked probably the best side in this IPL with regard to the destructiveness, went down for 134 in 18.1 overs, and that is courtesy a scintillating showcase of both batting and bowling mastery from the Chennai Super Kings. And to start off, I must say, if there's anyone who deserves the most credit for this win, it's got to be Ruturaj Gaikwad. 98 of 52, played one of the greatest captain's knock. This in my books is better than any other 100 because a few strokes that he played of Shahbaz, a few strokes that he played of the spinners, you could just see the elegance that he exuded in every shot. He knew that he was only going to bowl stump to stump, very similar to Akshay Patel, the trajectory. He knew that he's going to try and rush him onto the shot, make him play straight off, but he just moved outside the leg stump, used his feet, and then played it very late, tried to dissect that gap between backward point and third man, and that just shows the guile that man possesses. So much of shrewdness while he's batting. Some beautiful cricketing shots that he played. He played a few through the covers as well, and those were nothing short of spectacular either. The way he was using his feet, the way he was moving away, the way he was angling the bat. After a point it was giving me goosebumps. And to add on furthermore to Ruturaj's innings, I must say, he became the first captain to notch up 100 for the Chennai Super Kings, and largely people will argue that MS never did that, but batting at the position that MS did, it was it was too much to ask of MSD to come in and score 100 at number 5 and number 6, but to see what Ruturaj Gaikwad is doing for Chennai Super Kings as a captain, it's going to work magnitudes in favor of the Chennai Super Kings, because the more he starts scoring, the more he's going to use his feet, the more runs he's going to score. He might become your next Suresh Raina, who will be donning MSD's role. So imagine the lucrative that CSK have acquired there, and I'm really happy. I was shouting for almost every single and boundary that he was scoring. It was almost that it was flying onto the bat, and I must say, early on the first 2 overs, you felt the ball wasn't coming onto the bat as of sorts, it was just taking off the surface a little bit and just holding and coming on. But after a point, once he started just playing those shots, through the point and backward point, you just knew that this is Ruturaj's day, because in the power play, he plays a cover drive. Any other player would try to go over probably the mid off or probably long on, miscue it and get out at country, because he had a country fielder in place, Patrick Cummins. But he just moved back. He waited for the ball to pitch fuller, rise a little bit, goes outside leg stump and plays one of the most audacious cut shots that you'll ever see. A lot of people might not be able to relate to an audacious cut shot, but I must say the way Ruturaj Gaikwad played yesterday, it was nothing short of brilliance, batting brilliance. And coming on to another person who CSK have invested a lot of faith in, someone who's been there for donkey's years now, Daryl Mitchell. For New Zealand, he's an absolute gun player, was going through his purple patch until the IPL. A lot of slow starts for him, not been getting the runs instantly. But I think, Chika said in Tamil commentary, one down, runs adipa. And he came at 1 down, and he played some beautiful shots. He played straight down the ground. That's his best aspect while he's batting. He's got a phenomenal backswing, finishes the shots wonderfully. It's almost like he clubs the golf ball. And you could also see that Daryl Mitchell was hungry for runs. He was eager for the runs. You could see his 50 celebration. He pointed to the CSK logo and said, "Thank you for investing in me, because I'm going to be here for you. Thank you for banking in me." That's the environment that you would like ideally to have in your dressing room. And I'm really happy that Daryl Mitchell is showing, bringing out his inner brilliance, because the more Mitchell starts scoring for you, the more, I think it's going to silence the commentators who unnecessarily have started criticizing all the players for their strike rates. I understand that the game is moving more towards a batting oriented one. A lot of 200 plus games. In fact, I'm not for that. I feel T20 cricket is not cricket anymore. I don't consider it a format. I just see it as a money making scheme. But I must say that, Daryl Mitchell, the way he was batting, a lot of 52 of 32. In the context of this IPL, 52 or 15 might be a bad innings, because that's how fast. 260 being chased down in 18 overs. That match went inside and I came back. The match was over because you knew after the 10th over it's going to be smooth sailing for the Punjab Kings. Shashank Singh and Johnny Best just massacred that Kolkata Knight Riders bowling contingent. And coming back to the way Daryl Mitchell played, I must say his use of feet, the way he's got a very weird, way of playing the bowlers. Goes a little squarer, tries to play the paddle sweep, tries to, not a very good player, square of the wicket, likes playing shots in the V and through the covers, and you could see that he was heaping the rewards of some good classical and orthodox strokes as well. So Daryl Mitchell at Chepauk playing well is good, and overseas all-rounder after DJ Bravo, who can do well for the franchise. A lot of potential. We expected that with Ben Stokes, who completely bottled. You expected that with Roshan Ravindra. He didn't bottle as of sorts. He still knew. You never know. He might come back. And then now you're coming on to Daryl Mitchell and you're seeing some amounts of stability. Feel bad for Mitchell Santner, but I guess that's how the sport revolves. And coming on to the man who, if does not go to the T20 World Cup, I would like to change my name. Shivam Dube, 39 of 20, yet another whirlwind knock from him. A few shots that he played, the range of shots, in fact, I must say, it has massively improved after last year's IPL from what I had seen. You could only see Dube going straight off the surface, playing some nice shots. But now if you see Shivam Dube, he is just whacking the bowlers wherever you bowl. Whether it's wide and short, he's hitting you straight. You bowl wide and full, he's hitting you over covers. If you bowl on the legs, he's clearing his front leg and going over country. You bowl a full toss, don't even ask about it. If you're playing in Chepauk, it's going to fall at Bells Road or it might fall at the beach. So that's the amount of power that man possesses. And only if Dube ups his bowling pedigree, then I don't see a single reason why India shouldn't invest in him for the next 4 to 5 years at the least, because I feel a transition period should occur after that again. And this is just a shout out to the selectors and all the Indian fans out there that let's India invest more towards an all-round nation. Let all the 11 players be able to bowl and bat. I think that's one of the biggest lucratives in Australia. You've got Marnus Labuschagne, you've got Steven Smith, you've got Travis Head. Travis Head is I think an all-rounder as of sorts. Then you've got Glenn Maxwell, you've got Marcus Stoinis, you've got Cameron Green. You've already got 6 potent or bowling options there. And let's say you take out Steven Smith, who's not a regular bowler, you've still got 5 regular bowling options. And then barring that, come in your Pat Cummins, your Josh Hazlewoods, you've got all the bowlers there. So you have 8 to 9 bowling options in every game. So, and not all of them are ducks with the ball. All of them can actually get the ball to put some revs onto the ball. So I think it's a real lucrative to have, and that would be my honest suggestion, because let India invest more towards 11 players, 10 players who can bowl and bat, because that was the key in the 2011 World Cup. Yuvraj would roll his arm, Sachin could roll his arm, Sehwag could roll his arm. So that was what was led to India winning that World Cup. Now, let's take the example of the 1983 World Cup. Mohendra Amarnath could bowl for a bit, Gavaskar could bowl. So you could see that every batsman could bowl and every bowler could bat. I think that's also very key. We used to bat in the 11 World Cup. Zahir was no duck with the bat. Make no mistake. A lot of people over-exaggerate his batting skill, but he's not a silly duck with the bat. He's got a good level of adroitness with the bat in hand. And to add on furthermore, I must say that Venkatesh Iyer, Shivam Dube, Harshit Rana, if you tap into his batting potential, I saw him score one of the most magnificent hundreds in the Ranji Trophy. You probably can. Tushar Deshpande, for all you know, if you can get that number 11 to come in and score runs, then he's probably putting another 3 fast bowlers in. When you're looking at Tushar Deshpande right now in the selection sheet, Ajit Agarkar will say, okay, Mohammad Shami can't bat, Mohammad Siraj can't bat, but no problem, good bowler. Tushar Deshpande, good bowler and can bat. So it just adds to his roster. It adds to your roster. So I would say, develop an all-round nation, and that will start from the facilitation of skill from the ground level, from the grassroots. So I think all coaches also, if you're any of them watching this, encourage all-rounders to come about. Make sure that you give both the skills a lot of requirements and heed as well. And that brings us on to the next person who we have to talk about. The Sunrisers batting was nothing. It was absolutely nothing compared to the 5 runs that MS Dhoni scored. 5 runs of 2 balls. Goosebumps as I say this, because he played the helicopter shot through the square leg fielder. Whatever you say, whether he misfielded it or not, what a shot. The way almost as if you were revving a bike there, just this, and it went for a boundary. That was just some great cricketing shots from Tala. 4 runs and then a single. And that I think, okay, I can't elucidate too much about that. That's a feeling of its own. And I'm going to come on to the CSK bowling. Early on, when you see Abhishek Sharma and Travis Head walk out, you start trembling. But Tushar Deshpande and Shardul Thakur are the kind of bowlers who make the batsmen tremble. And this is because you don't know what to expect. You've got to expect the unexpected. Thakur might give around 60 runs in 4 overs and pick up 5 wickets, and Deshpande might give 80 runs and pick up 6 wickets. So that's always the problem. And I know it's not mathematically possible, just an example. And you never know, because Tushar Deshpande bowled a mind-blowing spell, not only with the ball, not only because of his execution, but also because of the way he was thinking. Very, very good thinking, and nice to see Rudraj Gaikwad very perspicacious as a captain. He was very ready to have decisive insights. He said, you know what, you're right, the ball, you square him up, let him cut, give him some width, let him cut it. That's a squarer boundary, that's a larger boundary, let him hit there. I'll position Daryl there, tall lad, so if it goes there, I'll catch it. He can catch it, and he positioned there, and he picked up 5 catches yesterday, Daryl Mitchell. That was some brilliant captaincy from Gaikwad. And I must say, the way Tushar executed it, to have that fielder position stationed correctly, it takes a lot of thinking, because he had him placed there, knowing that if it goes a little finer, he's got to play it late. And if he tries to play it late, the chance of it going to Mahibai behind also exists. And let's say it has to play it a little earlier. Let me rush him onto the shot by hitting that hard length a little wide outside off stump. Let me have him a little bit squarer, so that when he plays that shot, he'll go straight to the hands. So, and he used the wind, he used the angle of delivery. He came I think he came over the wicket to Abhishek and Travis, and that's exactly what worked in his favour. Again, a game in which Matisha Patirana does not pick up anything more than one wicket is the day I'll stop watching CSK's games, because just exaggeration, of course, but the way he was bowling, again, what a ball to Aiden Markram. He executes the Yorker at will, and I must say this, that he's not only that one ball lethal asset bowler. He's got almost everything in his roster, from a slower one to to a wide Yorker to a bumper, to be able to execute a good length delivery that moves away. He's got almost everything in his arsenal, and yet he's not bowled the Yorker very often in this IPL. But when he bowls it, you don't know when it's coming, because after a point you're saying, okay, now I think he's just transitioned towards that, and boom, he's bowled the Yorker and you're gone. And that's exactly what happened to Aiden Markram. He was set up wonderfully, bowled a 2 on the little bit up, and then 1 towards the length. Next one, he's coming into the shot like this, he bowls the Yorker, jams it in, and he gets bowled, because he hauled it in wonderfully, did Matisha Patirana. And that, I think Mustafizur Rahman also did a decent job. He did a fairly good job, and we must appreciate that. And I must say, this Shepak surface was a surface in which CSK can call their fortress, because slower towards the second half, a batting paradise on the first half, grips a little bit more, the soil remains turgid throughout, you got a good amount of water retention, the ball is pitching a little bit, you will not see a lot of puff of dust arise, and just moving or deviating away, because there wasn't a lot of swing, it was a lot of deviation because of the air, the way Chahar was lacing it. But I was trying to analyze after it pitches, how is it going? Is it because of the pitch? Is it because of the wrist? It was only because of the pitch, because after it pitched, it just angled away. That deviation factor is always going to be in the Chepak surface. This is the kind of surface that Stephen Fleming wanted. This is the kind of surface that Ruturaj Gaikwad wanted. And this is the kind of result that will propel the Chennai Super Kings to a top 4 position. That will keep me happy, because then I can wear this jersey more often and entertain you all. And for more such riveting content, you know exactly what you have to do. Please do like, share and subscribe to Crick Static if you already haven't. Share it with like-minded people, and I'm reiterating this, but please do, because the more number of subscribers I get, the more my scope is for growth. So once again, thank you so much for tuning into this episode. Please do like and please do subscribe to my channel Crick Static. Follow my Insta handle Crick_Static, and please do give my sponsors Wannaby a follow, Wannaby Official on Instagram, for anything related to real estate. From buying a property, they've got everything covered at their doorstep. They can literally give you a doorstep as well. So please do visit them. Buying is like a charm. It's like a T20 game. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in.